quick bit of Rochester trivia. Basically, the only thing you need to know about Rochester is this one fact. Matt, what is the question?
What is a garbage plate?
The question is, what is a garbage plate? And you're never going to need to ask anything else in Rochester. There was something about Kodak, but I don't think any of us remember that. That's kind of past news. So a garbage plate is the pinnacle of Rochester food. If you're ever in Rochester, you will not eat anything besides a garbage plate. I eat garbage plates for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sometimes even dessert. A garbage plate consists of one thing, and one thing only, and that's garbage. And that's made by first combining, of course, burgers. Generally, you like to go with 2 of them, but if you're, sticking on the light side, you can go with 1 or 3. And definitely cheese is a must on these burgers. Now, if you're vegetarian, you can click away now.
If
you're vegetarian, you need to move somewhere else or not visit Rochester. So of course you're going to want to grill your burger really good. Not well done. That is completely the opposite of really good. So you have your burger, and it's going to have cheese on it. Cheeseburger, of course. And then this burger goes alongside either mac salad or macaroni and cheese, which is not the original, but it is a nice twist to add more of that cheesy flavor if you're looking for a less healthy option. Which, if you're going for a garbage plate, generally, if you're going to eat a garbage plate, you're generally not looking anywhere near the healthiest option. So really just go with whatever your heart desires, but not what it needs. So you can go with, we've got burgers on the table. Vegetarian things are off the table. We don't have any burgers actually on the table. Macaroni and cheese. And if you don't like mac and cheese for whatever reason, if you were born defectively, you can also go with mac salad, which is the original option and also very good. That's right. Of course, the second side. Oh yeah, we got burgers on the table. The second side you're gonna want to go with is, of course, your home fries. Now this is an onion, but it gets the point across. So you combine all these things together on a plate. So you got we're going with mac and cheese. You got your mac and cheese. Goes next to your burgers. Generally, I said 2 to 1 to 3. So yep, that's the right amount. And your home fries. So they're all next to each other. They get mixed in real close together. If you're one of those people that likes to separate your food, again, you're not watching the right video. You're not in the right town. Because garbage plates, I hate to break it to you, they touch. So generally, if this was a coronavirus ecosystem, garbage plates would be banned. But it is a food, and foods are safe because we cook them. The final topping that is required is, of course, the meat sauce. And this just smothers everything in existence until it looks literally like garbage. So anyone that hasn't tried it before is generally going to say, this looks disgusting, I'm never going to eat that. And then you can say, that's great, I'll eat it for you. And then your heart will have a bad time. And then after that, you have the option of adding things like diced onions, mustard, and ketchup. I've even seen tomatoes go on it afterwards, but tomatoes are awful, and that is a terrible idea, and you should probably not do that. So let's get started. We're gonna start off with the hot sauce because that's gonna be the thing that takes the most amount of time. So first, we're gonna start off with an onion. Now, does anyone know how to cut an onion?
Sure.
Sure?
I don't know. Do you?
Sure you don't know?
Do you know?
No.
I'll do it.
You'll do it. All right. Were you doing this on camera? We need people to know how to do it.
I'm just getting the skin off of it. Okay.
Cut the ends off. Yes.
Yes. Maybe.
I'll eat those parts.
Do we want these like diced or like minced?
Can we peel the skin off first because the skin is bad? It's kind of like opening a present, except
you cry.
Except it's not the thing you wanted because you cry when you open it.
Because this is so
we
great.
can get this thrown in the garbage or the compost. If you have a compost, use your garbage.
Again, if you have a compost, this is not the right channel for you.
Again, if you have a compost,
Sure. Environmentally conscious.
Sure. Just dice them or mince them?
I think pretty fine. Don't need to be crushed, but
Watch your finger.
I'm just trying to think. If we do...
you need big swings.
There we go.
On this channel, we do not care about accuracy or safety
Or fingers.
or fingers.
Make it loud. Watch your finger.
I know.
Those are big swings.
That's how it works, right?
What the hell are you doing?
Now, while that's
It's-
happening, we're gonna want to add some oil to our large skillet. So we're gonna want a pretty large pan or skillet. Something around this size should suffice. Now, if you've ever used oil,
Put it out with water.
you need to remember it's carbonated. So you need to shake it up first, and then you get a... And so what you can do is you just pour way too much oil, and always, every single time you pour oil, you kind of pour it and you go, oops, that was too much. So until we say, oops, that was too much. Okay, not quite. Oh, yeah, that was definitely too much.
Matt, what are you
Now-
doing?
I'm
No.
getting the garlic ready.
You kind of gotta, now that you've added a little too much oil, you kind of gotta move it around. Kind of looks like, what is this? Some sort of thing I learned in history class but didn't pay attention to. I forgot this was a large skillet. Definitely go with some more oil.
Oops.
Oops, all berries.
Oops, all oil.
Oops, all there.
Alright,
Is this the right technique?
What are you doing? Pour onion.
that is the right technique.
Oh my god!
Not again.
Not again!
Alright,
Yeah.
slap this on this bad boy.
Make sure you censor me. Make sure you censor me.
What?
Censor me.
Darn.
Can you even see over
You
there?
censored that.
No.
I'm not sure. I've put it on the stove. Have we succeeded with the garlic?
Garlic is ready to be squeezed.
Garlic is ready to be squeezed. Now that's a good sign.
That's not finely minced. That's not fine.
We're gonna get a couple of these a little bit more fine.
Just got like a mallet, you just smash them.
Well, then you're gonna get out all the texture, which we don't even want. We're gonna cook this hard texture out of them anyways. If you use raw onions, that's for after the fact. But you want to kind of fry your onions beforehand. You want to make them so they're more soft. Because you don't want crunchy bits in your meat sauce. That's a little bit odd. Not garbage enough. All right. Good stuff, good stuff. Make sure you wash your hands, which is something I just did.
I wash my hands.
I know one of us here is not very good at doing that.
What?
Okay, so let's get this oil going real good. We just kind of start. So these, oftentimes, as you can see, just like zoom in on your screen, there are oftentimes little icons next to the stove here, and they don't mean anything. You kind of just gotta guess which one's the right one. So we're aiming for bottom left. That was not right. I think. Gotta make sure it doesn't light, and keep it going. All right, here we go. We got this going. Smells like gas. That's a good sign. You want this to get nice and warm. Just hold it above the heat. So we're gonna get ready with our onions first. We're gonna be cooking our onions the first thing. And then once the onions are getting cooked pretty well, we're gonna go and add our garlic.
Garlic is ready.
I see you have loaded up. Alright, we're gonna sauce ourselves some thick onions. It's probably enough.
Want too much.
So here we go. Alright, I was lucky this time. A lot of times when you scrape stuff, you kind of miss the entire thing, but we do have a very large skillet. So before we add this garlic, garlic cooks a whole lot faster than onions. We want to cook our onions a bit. And grab ourselves a nice spatula that we're going to sacrifice for this job. I like this. This is thick. Feng shui. So let's stir this around. All right, and you can feel the crying start. You hear the onions crying and you see yourself crying. That's kind of the motto I like to go with. All right, there's the sizzling. It's going real nice. So kind of when you see them start to change color, like when you start crying on them, it'll add a bit of a color. So that's the salt. Very good, very good. Now the next step here is to check your Snapchat, make sure you don't lose your streaks for the day.
No, we're good. That's not Snapchat. Garbage bags.
Now the strategy is obviously to send one single picture to all of your streaks, and that helps save time. Pro tip. So let's open up that package of ground beef, because after we add this garlic, and that's going to be the stack, making our fantastic sauce.
It's fresh. Alright, there's your ground beef.
These onions are looking pretty good. Let's get that garlic cooking. Now I've never used one of these before,
Squeeze.
so I'm a little bit apprehensive.
Squeeze.
I'm very afraid of things coming out of small holes. As you can tell, I'm terrified. Very nice. So you just pretend your spatula is a razor and these are your mustache hairs that you shaved this morning, because you did not want to look like a pedophile. Okay, let's keep going. So very cool, very cool. We're just gonna be cooking this until soft. So after a couple of seconds, here we can add in this ground beef, and then we're gonna start whipping out the fork, chopping this ground beef up. Or if you have a good enough spatula, like I believe this may be sufficient. There we go, we lost an onion. All right, that's fine enough. There's one man overboard. As long as you have about 80% of the onions left, that's a good sign. The rest of them, not necessary. It's just kind of adds flavor to the flames. All right, so I think right about now we can probably add in. Our onions are getting a lot softer, so we can probably add in our ground beef. My tears are welling up, so let's definitely get that ground beef in there to kind of dilute some of this smoke that's coming off of these onions. Now you see, what you want to have is not this giant rectangle of ground beef. So you're gonna want to kind of, we're still at about 87% onions, so we're still in a good spot. So let us grab a fork, because this is not doing us supreme justice.
Forks are over there.
This is not where the forks
Forks
are.
are there.
Step 1, locate where all the utensils that you're going to need are. Step 2, try not to start any fires. Alright, so let's get this ground beef browned and kind of chopped up. So if you are ambidextrous, you can use two hands. I am not, so this is not going to go very well. My left hand is kind of just a log, and it does not do at all what I want it to do. Except it's really good at pressing W, A, S, and D on the keyboard when I'm gaming. Alright, so it looks like this is all brown so far. So now we can get ourselves our cup of water and our tomato paste. So let's see if we can scrape our tomato paste in here using a fork. Usually this is very difficult and it never comes out the way you want it to. So you're going to need lots of scoops, and none of them are going to actually shake off. The goal here is maybe about 75% of the tomato paste, because you can never get all of it out of the 6-ounce can. There is, humans have not been able to find a viable strategy of getting all of the tomato paste out of a can ever. We've researched for years, we've put more money in than we have to solving, curing cancer. So that definitely says something. People really like tomato paste, which I don't understand. There we go. This fork is never gonna We're never gonna be able to get all this tomato paste out, but this fork is about to have our last remnants of tomato paste that we're getting out of this can. So I think that's even a little bit more than 75%, so we've definitely done a good job. The next step, we're gonna add some water here. And this is gonna kind of cool things down. Now, if you don't mix this tomato paste in, I don't know what you're doing, because it's very obvious that it needs to be mixed in. You don't want to go too fast or you're going to have a lot of spillage. And all this juicy, heart-wrenching oil stuff. Not anymore. Problem solved. All of this delicious oil is going to be what's really good for your arteries and your veins. It's going to help clog them up and stop your blood from flowing too fast. If your blood flows too fast, you may accidentally become an athlete. And generally that's a good thing.
Stop. You lost yourself.
No, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, so let's see if we need to adjust the heat. But I believe now we just let it simmer for 10 minutes. Cool. So, yeah, we're gonna turn this heat down pretty low. And then just kind of let it simmer for 10 minutes while we prepare the rest of our spices to add in. All right, let's start measuring out some spices. So what do we got on the table here?
A pot of water.
Yes, we do have a pot of water. In terms of spices, Matt, what are we looking at?
I'm glad you asked.
We got Matt the Spice Master over here.
We have black pepper, salt, cumin, some cinnamon, what is this? Some chili powder, some paprika, some brown sugar, and some cayenne pepper.
Very good, very good. Kid, you got these onions on the floor.
You were talking?
Okay, that was a single spillage, and it was part of what we needed. All right, so we got measuring spoons. All right, so I'm gonna list off some measurements for you. Let's get a little bowl that we'll put all these in because we're gonna add them all at the same time. Half of a tablespoon of ground sugar. All right. 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper. With black pepper, it's kind of more like
a tablespoon or half a teaspoon?
half a tablespoon. With ground pepper, it's more like a guessing game, and so you just kind of go for it.
This is so hard. Look at that, it's so dry. You guys keep good care of your brown sugar.
Well, this stuff doesn't expire.
Your brown sugar definitely is. It's close enough.
Not quite there yet. All right, what else do we have? We have 3/4 of a tablespoon of cayenne pepper.
3/4 of a tablespoon. You do not have that measuring device.
Well, you do have 1/4 and 1/2.
No, this is not a teaspoon.
Okay. That looks like enough ground pepper, possibly. I have absolutely no idea if it's anywhere close.
1/4 of a tablespoon?
3/4 of a
Yeah, 1/4.
3/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne.
Oh, a teaspoon. You said tablespoon.
No. Oh, maybe I did. They look very similar. 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Did you get the chili powder? I'll not do any ingredients. I'll look at so we're not double adding.
So 1 teaspoon?
Of chili powder, 1 teaspoon.
Don't know how this.
What the heck? This thing exploded.
You can scoop. Scoop.
Oh wait, I can scoop.
Yes, the scoop is the strategy.
Alright, half of it ended up on the table.
Okay.
So we're having.
That is fine.
No message.
What you do is you just leave everything for someone else.
You snort it later.
My
Not
God.
that, yes.
2.
Okay, in terms of paprika, we have paprika.
We have none.
So we're gonna need 1 1/2 teaspoons of paprika.
1 1/2.
Yes, 1 1/2 teaspoons of paprika. We need 1 1/2 teaspoon of paprika.
1 1/2.
And this recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, but I think we're going to bump that up to 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon.
What are you looking
The 1 1/2.
for? 1 1/2?
Teaspoon.
Oh, teaspoon.
Where did it go?
Just do 2 of these.
Okay. Math.
Where did the half teaspoon go?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I'll look for it. I'll look for it.
Of paprika.
Yes, 1 1/2.
It's gone.
Was it ever out?
I don't know.
I'm gonna just stir this once.
I don't know where it went. Well, I tried.
Okay, so have we gotten the paprika done?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go with half of a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now, were there any other spices that you wanted to add in here?
I thought we were doing more than half. What was how much teaspoon?
Our recipe called for a quarter, and we're bumping it up to a half.
Well, let's do one because I know it's clean. Okay.
Maybe?
What it is?
It would be a lot of cinnamon. You could also guess and do one, but only fill it up halfway.
I like that actually.
Or you could just do 1/4.
Oh, you know that's a good idea too.
Oh my god.
You need to be indecisive when you're cooking because you need to kill time.
This is cinnamon, right? Okay. We're at it.
Now we're gonna let this simmer for about 30 minutes and we'll get started on our other sides. So let's get those home fries going. All right, we need to open this. So we're gonna need some scissors.
He tosses scissors.
Now, be sure to throw things with scissors in your hand. It's generally a safety precaution to not do that, but as we've mentioned earlier, and you should remember, safety is not a precaution. Now, there are directions on the bag here. You can do this with your own potatoes, except we didn't do that. So these directions are calling for a little bit not enough time cooking, and also half the bag. And we want to use the whole bag because we like home fries. So we're gonna double that cooking time. right? And so I think we're gonna want to get some vegetable oil lining this up. So let's get that in. Does one of you want to try the oops, that's too much strategy?
Steady.
No. Wait, what does this say? Because this is like what?
You can also use butter.
This is
if you
2
want.
tablespoons.
2 tablespoons. So go with 4. That's a lot.
You gotta do the oops measurement.
We gotta go with 4 then, because we're doubling, essentially doubling.
So what's this? Just a shot of canola oil?
A shot of
We gotta look like
Let us dump some potatoes. We're doing deep dish potatoes here. Very yes. Make sure you leave at least 1 potato left in the bag. Okay, see that? That's an entire potato. We don't want to use all of our ingredients. We want to save some for later. So let's get this stirring. Now, we want to use a different spatula.
cross-contamination is key here.
Cross-contamination is key, but again, we are in the midst of some trouble. So we're gonna get a different spatula. Generally, you don't need to do this. But yeah, let's try to get these all coated. Now, there are a lot. So this may take some effort. The water is boiling.
Oh, it is?
It is.
Alright, time to come in. Now here you gotta use any mac and cheese you'd like. We choose to use liquid gold. We're just gonna pop that open. Make sure before dumping the noodles in, you take out the cheese packet. Trust me, it doesn't work if you do it the other way around. Just gonna dump it in.
That's a good way to get your dormitory evacuated if you're doing this in your dorm.
Fun fact, that is what happened freshman year.
So now that these have been covered in our oil, we're gonna add some of our nice spices. That's gonna be the salt. I'm gonna pull this out real quick just so that
That's what she said. No, that's what you said.
I did say that.
I hope it's not what you said.
All right, lots of salt is good. Next, we're gonna add the black pepper. Again, lots of it is good. Get a little bit of stirring action in here. You can spin the pot around, the skillet around if you would like. Lots of black pepper. Was that hidden footage of the hidden spice?
Try to get a call again.
Okay. Well, let's stir this around a little bit. And I think we should probably get our hidden spice in the mix. Now, our hidden spice has no name to it.
Cover the name.
It starts with a letter that is the 3rd letter of the alphabet, and it kind of rhymes with Asian.
Raisins.
Alright, make sure you really douse those. It's gonna be good.
It better be.
Again, we want to mix this around, and then we're going to cover this. So we want these to get really crispy. So let's find a cover for our large, deep dish.
Official taste test.
Official, it's branded.
Oh.
It's hot. You heard it here.
We did one.
Add more what? More? Everything. But I didn't taste it, that's just a guess. Bump that. Good bumped up.
I'm also guessing on the measurements, so don't quote me on any of this.
You really left one in there.
It was squished. The integrity was broken.
3 people?
The integrity was compromised.
I have no idea. I'm guessing.
Looks like it is
Um,
hot.
do a dance. Next, you're going to add some oil.
Oops.
Then you're going to, I'm going to leave you in charge of this then. I'm going to mix it around.
Yeah.
Evenly get covered in oil. Okay, I need more oil already. like a just barely an oops amount. Barely an oops amount.
Like, oops, that's not
Alright, so now you're going to start adding the salt and pepper and our secret ingredient.
Nah, I don't have the time
But
for
I
this.
said on the camera I think 12 times.
How much?
I'll tell you what's up. A little more.
What?
The pepper.
Make sure after about 10 minutes to flip your home fries, and that time is about now. So I'm gonna take off this lid.
I think it's
We're
on
not
camera.
gonna use
I don't think it's on camera. But you know, we'll let him do it.
Is that it?
Yep. And then add the last ingredient. About time we added that.
You are right.
I've been waiting so long. More. Okay. Alright, once you mix it all well together, you rinse off the crap off your hands. Is the mac and cheese back over there? Add the cheese to the mac and cheese. It's right there, right at the wall. Slide it down.
I actually turned my thing on to 8 when I said I was turning my TV. You never look at the icons, you kind of just guess.
Pinch more of that, and a pinch more of that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your breadcrumbs and just put them onto a baking sheet. Get something to scrape the excess out. And evenly distribute it across.
Should I just put this in now?
What? Yeah, mac and cheese is done. Find wherever the lid is for it, put it on it so it keeps it warm. You can make a bigger
That's
hole
not
than that.
powdery.
Jesus.
Velvet.
Yeah, it's Velveeta. Isn't it Velveeta? Velveeta.
I go with Wegmans.
I go with liquid gold.
I go crap. It just looks just...
I see we've reached the crossroads. This is the end of the channel.
Oh, wow, people can have their own opinions.
No, not when it comes to mac and cheese.
So we still have to do the burgers.
Yes. Which I will start after this. I don't know how long these go in for, so just keep checking every 15 minutes.
Okay.
Some viewers.
Oh yeah, that's in the oven on. That would help.
Yeah, let us know when they're done.
How do you turn this on? We're gonna take your thawed burgers and go out to the grill, and you can season them. I need more hands. Can't tell if it's a season or if it's raw. Might still be raw. Some more juice.
I'm just gonna melted.
It's fine. It'll melt. You put the meat sauce on top.
Here we go. We start off with the cheesy macaroni salad. A lot of people might call it mac and cheese. It's a one-handed endeavor, for sure. We place on one side macaroni and cheese. Very cautiously. You don't want to forget to place it. And then next, we'll go to the other side. Place home fries.
You're dripping.
Drip. Oh yeah, I should get this down. We place crispy home fries. Don't forget crisp. Did you say? Maybe. Okay, get a couple. Maybe I can eat some. Jeez, I don't know how much a third is.
We'll eat eventually. We'll eat eventually.
Stickhead can go first.
Can't have a quarter of a mac and cheese.
And then we get the breadcrumbs.
Extra crisp.
Extra crisp. And then normally they just go on mac and cheese, but we're adding them to the home fries as well for extra crisp. So just kind of the breadcrumbs are an added touch.
I
Like a
skip
special
out.
mac and cheese type of thing.
I skip out on the mac and cheese. It's just not my style. Even though it's
I'll double down the mac and cheese.
More, right?
I'll double down on mac and cheese.
It's ruined my feng shui though. I've already put the breadcrumbs on.
I take equal to how much the Jack took.
I took less than that. Good. I'll even it out a little bit on this end. This end's looking
Or we take 2 each.
Ah, a little bit. Take 2 each, and then Matt takes 3. One of us is left with 1. Frustrating our existence.
Gosh, why? Every time.
What?
You just flip over when I get him. When I get him.
I'll add a little bit to this, right?
What? What's that? It's not as much saucy. That's what I thought. Oil is the problem.
What'd you say? I think it might have been it was just sitting there for a long time. Maybe. It's the opposite of eating. It's the opposite of Ehot's plate sauce. It is not soup. So my personal favorite strategy is once I get it looking all nice and good, I cut it up first and then make it look more like garbage. And that kind of deters people from stealing it from me. Basically the less appetizing it looks, the better. And that's how you should live your whole life.
And don't forget to Snapchat it to all your friends.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've already done my streak snaps, so I don't need to. Because whenever I do anything interesting in the day, I don't actually do it on Snapchat.
I don't have friends to send it to.
I purposely just take the most boring photos and use those.
This didn't turn out that bad. The
And
hot sauce could have been a
so-
little bit more liquidy or something.
At
Yeah,
the
these just
end,
let too long.
it should look something like this. Basically, it kind of looks like a dog threw up into a plate or a bowl. And then it's ready to eat.
So there you have it.